Okay, so I've been getting asked a question a whole lot lately. What are the best classes in WonderKing to start with? And this is important for starting the game. So this is not just a list on bossing or mobbing. This is pretty much the overall best classes to pick and why that is. We're pretty much just gonna break down every class, just kind of talk about them real quick and exactly what makes them really good for starting and not good for starting. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start off with Zenocider here. So Zenocider, when it comes to its expedition stat, it gives HP. So that means that for all those tower trial floors that you complete, you'll get more and more HP. So that means that it in general won't be one of the more important expedition skills, but when it comes to how it actually plays, it actually is a relatively decent starter. Because it gets double damage for so long when it comes to its actual buff and passives, it doesn't need to rely on crit rate as much because it already does so much raw damage. It can be a relatively decent starting class. I would definitely put this in the A tier, only because it doesn't rely on crit rate so much, but then whenever you do get crit rate and that critical damage starts to kick in, you'll start to see a tremendous damage difference and damage increase as well. I think that it'll be really nice overall when it comes to performance and how you'll feel about it in the first couple of games. Especially whenever you start doing your bosses and stuff like that, you'll start to see how it shines. It's a really solid class in general. I do like Xenocider. Next up is Temple Knight. Now Temple Knight I'm gonna put a little bit lower than Xenocider only because it's a bit different to learn. The techs that you have to use for this class are a bit different. Like literally there's so many different techs for this class. Like it's one of those classes that it takes a lot of skill to learn, but you can also kind of play it lazy too, because you can just sit in a middle platform. You can hit everything that's above you and everything that's below you, especially depending on what map. Some maps are just super large, so it doesn't exactly always work out like that. In general, I'll just say that because of how it takes to learn and how its burst rotation and things are, I would say that it's a bit harder of a class to learn compared to Xenocider. I feel like Xenocider is just spin to win almost. It's like spin to win and then you just have a bunch of one-hit skills. With Temple Knight, it's kind of like the opposite, and you just kind of spam a skill until you run out of mana pretty much. All right, next up we've got Sorcerer. Like Sorcerer, it's a bit on the slow side, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. This class, it gives EXP for its expedition stats. I do like the EXP gain that you get from it, and it does boss really well, but again, it's one of those classes that you kind of have to get used to. It's really strugglesome to level up to 200 comparatively to other classes because it has a lot of one-hit skills that only hit one enemy at a time. So a lot of the mobbing kind of gets agitating for a while, but once you start to level it up and get past 200, you'll get access to a lot of cooler skills. Many of them do a lot of damage and take a lot of time to load animations. So like whenever you're thinking about all that stuff, like it's a slower overall performing class, but it doesn't really feel that great until you hit final job and start doing some numbers with it. Next up is Shadow Attacker. Shadow Attacker, you would be surprised, I'm also going to put this in B tier too. The reason why I put this in B tier is because it just struggles so much with critical rate, and without that critical rate boost, it kind of just, it doesn't shine nearly as much as it should. The reason why I say that is just like without critical rate, this class literally means nothing. Like that's literally the easiest way to put it. Without critical rate, this class means nothing. The majority of these classes don't have a lot of critical rate, but they can still kind of perform well without it. And Shadow Attacker, I don't feel like it really has that same like consensus with it. It really doesn't. I feel like without critical rate, this class suffers massively. So it's just one of those things where it's like as soon as you can get 30% or more critical damage or critical rate, it ends up working out. I definitely do agree with that. Okay, next up we've got Cardinal. Now Cardinal, I'm gonna put him in C tier. Really, you need to work a lot of classes around before you even think about trying to main a Cardinal. I would definitely try to get those damage boosting classes up first in Expedition, and then I would come back to Cardinal and then level it that way, just so that way you can have the easiest time playing this class as possible. Like, there's no reason to start off playing WonderKing with a Cardinal unless like you're with a party and you play support directly. But outside of that, like I would play any other class besides Cardinal and then come back to Cardinal if I do feel like playing that and maining it. But the reason why I say that is because it has no burst. Its damage cycle is real simple, and the most that it gets as far as skill percentage wise is 700%, so it doesn't really get that much as far as damage, but it does give a lot of really nice support, and it has a 50% EXP buff, so it comes in handy. Like, don't get me wrong, this class does come in handy. It's got a really great mobbing mechanics, but overall you're not going to have a fulfilling time when you play this class when it comes to bossing and being able to feel like you can compete with other classes. It's not going to work. It will never work. Next up, Beasteper. I'm going to put Beasteper in S tier, and that's not me glazing. I know that's going to be the immediate thought for most people, is that me glazing Beasteper right now is just the thing, but I'm just being honest. It's got the best mobbing. It's a really good bosser now. And not only that, but it does everything so well. Like whatever you need as far as your beginning starter things going forward, like you'll find it with this class. There's no problems at all. Like it's just so well rounded right now. It's literally one of the best clated classes in the game, and we are enjoying it right now. There's no reason to hate this class whatsoever. And I'd say that right now, as far as starter classes, it's absolutely a beginner. Next up, we've got Strider. Strider is one of those element of surprises classes, but I'm going to go ahead and put him in B tier 2. He does have an overall better mobbing status, but when it comes to bossing, he will also have somewhat of an issue when it comes to critical rate. He has multiple hits skills, many multiple hit skills that hit over 10 times, but if it wasn't for that, then he wouldn't have many chances to get crits. So if it's not going to be a crit on one of the bigger skills, it's going to be a crit on a lower damage multi-hit skill. So like you got to kind of have to pick your battles when it comes to Gunner, but in general, it's relatively nice. And then last but not least is Dark Lord, and believe it or not, I'm also going to put this in S tier. Yes, its mobbing absolutely sucks, but when it comes to your bossing experience, you will have literally the best bossing experience ever. So with that being said, you'll be able to get as many bosses done as fast as possible, use that expedition and get through expedition floor 10 and get that tier 5 specific stat and gain up a bunch of damage off of having a Dark Lord. It's like 50,000 plus extra attack, and then you can pretty much raise any other class and still have a really good time with it. I think that just in general, every account needs to have a Dark Lord on it. Every class needs to have a Beastkeeper on it or a Shadow Attacker. It has to have 2 of the 3 out of those. It's super important nonetheless. But thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Check out the Reddit. WonderKing has been going crazy on there. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Like, subscribe, check out the Twitch, all that other good stuff. I'm out.